Hello, everyone. Donald Trump was standing on the construction site of his ballroom, explaining what it's all going to look like. As you can see, I went to that very spot myself to read out the exact words Trump said. Let me know what you think, of me on that construction site, of course. A lot of people have been asking to see. We've done a lot of work. We spend hundreds of millions of dollars already under the ballroom, and it's coming out, I think, incredibly. We have some renderings down of the finished product. It's all knit together. The top of the ballroom is what they call a drone gallery. We have, tremendous amounts of military able to be on the top. It'll be the highest point. It'll be actually higher than still over Washington, but it will be something very special. So, if you look up at the top, you'll see some interesting things, and I'll show that to you in a second. You want to grab that, please? I'll show that to you in a second. The facade of the building. There will never be another building like this built that I can tell. I've built a lot of great things, but there will never be anything like this built. And what we have is the roof is dead flat, with absolutely nothing but strength on it. It's very strong steel, it's drone-proof, and it's meant for our military to be able to stay on it. You get a view of Washington. Also, for the drone building capacity, some of that takes place right down here. You can see the very large piping and the other things that it's a very complex building. It's all knit together. The roof goes with the ground floor. The ground floor goes with the roof. The roof also goes down into the basement. Everything is connected, intertwined. Elevators, heating, air conditioning. It's one building. And that's why we're trying to explain that this is one well-knit building. Now, one does one thing doesn't work without the other. Very importantly, though, in terms of the beauty, probably the closest thing to this would be the US Supreme Court, the facade of the US Supreme Court. So here's a couple of things you can look at. There will never be another thing like this. I don't believe it's built from a court standpoint. This is all my money and donors' money. This is tax-free. So everyone talking about they're going to give money, they're going to give money. The money they're going to give is really for the security of that and the whole White House. And I guess you probably need that nowadays. We've done the fencing on the outside of the White House. It's all titanium. You see the black fencing that's been just done recently, and it was approved originally by me, and it's been completed, and it's very powerful, very powerful. The tractor, a bulldozer, cannot knock it over. It goes down deep, and it's titanium, which is the strongest of all of the metals. Much stronger than steel, as an example. The ballroom is all, it's going to be a tremendous, tremendous thing. As an example, what happened a couple of weeks ago at the White House Correspondents could not happen here. One thing that we have is we don't have people living above it. We don't want that. That's no good. They have 1,000 units above it, with the elevator coming right down next to where the convention, or whatever it may be, is. So this is a room that's been wanted for 150 years by presidents. We have no room to have an event. The only way you can have an event is if you build a tent on the lawn, and the tent would not do the job. And by the way, if it rains here, because it's built on a wetland, the lawn is impossible to deal with. The water goes over everybody's shoes, literally goes over the shoes. So, and they've had a lot of catastrophes with the tent. So we have this, and if you take a look at this section, this is the difference. So this is a Greek, more or less. It comes out of Greece. This is the ultimate facade for Greece. This faces the Treasury building. This is a different facade. That's Rome. And that faces the, Washington Monument. the Lincoln Memorial, etc. So you have two facades. Primarily, you have two entrances. You have here, you have here. But the primary entrance is through the White House. Directly through the White House. And it's really something. I think you can see the complexity. All of these columns go directly up to the roof, and the roof is a barrier. It's a shield because it's made out of, the sidewalls are steel, impenetrable steel, and also impenetrable, glass. The glass is approximately 4-inch thick, and yet it's amazing, and you can see through it as though it didn't exist. It's amazing. And it can stop just about anything. Just about anything. On the other side of the glass, we have steel and concrete, so that the glass is, very powerful. What's holding the glass is equally as powerful, and that's here. You can see they're just about ready to go up to the top. All of these columns, they go directly right to the roof of the building. And again, we call it a drone port. It's set up for, unlimited numbers of drones. Purposely, we don't have any air conditioning equipment up there because we don't want anything coming down through the pipes if anybody gets. Normally, you'd have a lot of air conditioning equipment on the roof. We built it all inside, the building, inside the case of the building, because we don't want to have anything having to do with air or air quality or any problems playing with the air. So you'll notice it's a dead flat roof with no equipment on it. All of the equipment is inside of the building, and that's for safety reasons. Normally, you'd do a lot less expensive, you do it a different way. So all of this was paid for by myself, and because I keep hearing like I'm not, we are making a gift of this. This is a gift. This is not going to be paid for by the taxpayer. That we have a judge that thinks it's a terrible thing that we're making a gift. He said it's terrible that we're making a gift that should be paid for by the taxpayer. That's one I've never heard before, but I'm sure. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he doesn't understand. This is a gift to the United States of America. And more than a gift, it's going to be one of the most beautiful buildings that's ever been built in the country, or in Washington, D.C. So here's the other facade you see over here. And again, this is taken. These days, great classical buildings, they're taken out of different parts of the world from very glamorous times. This is Rome. They like the flat room. Greece likes they call it the triangles. And you see that? This is a porch that looks out over the city. Also, it's developed in such a way that we can have military there. But the entire roof is developed for the military. It's very high. They're higher than just about anything else. They have a 360-degree vision of Washington, D.C. They have a massive drone capacity. Not only is it drone-proof, if a drone hits it, it bounces off. It won't have any impact. But, it's also meant as a drone port, so it protects all of Washington, the roof of the building. I think I just stood here for 8.5 minutes reading about Donald Trump's dreams. I'm rushing home to make a cup of AI tea. Until next time, bye!